10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. CDEC, turn to ban. CDEC, turn to pick.
Dusk. Slada.
Radiant team pick.
Winter Wyvern.
CDEC, turn to pick.
Welcome back, everybody. Time now for our Game 3 decider. Mineski taking on CDEC. It all comes down to this here in Group D. As far as the winner bracket is concerned, your road into the upper bracket of the main event a lot smoother if you can win this series. And well, Mineski, they've tied things up one game apiece. We're going to hop right into the draft as I welcome my co-caster, Winter. Things flying along here. Winter, are you excited for game number 3?
Hell yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Are you happy for your SCA brethren doing well, at least forcing a game 3?
10 seconds.
Yeah, they're keeping our hopes alive.
Well,
5 seconds.
SCA Dota still kicking and fighting right now. They've got a tough challenge ahead of them as CDEC gonna stick with their gut here. They're gonna go right back into the Tusk plus Gyrocopter. This time around though, Mineski, rather than the Slaughter plus Shadow Fiend, go for the Slaughter plus Winter Wyvern. Interesting to note the kind of change up here, but it feels like we're seeing the exact same draft for a third game in a row, Winter. I mean, game 2 was different to game 1 because we had the anti-mage, but as far as like the opening 3 or 4 picks, these two teams are not changing anything.
Yeah, the two games, the first game Mineski should have won, second game CDEC should have won. It's not much about the hero picks, it's just execution that wasn't really good. And if you talk about the openings in the last game compared to this game, Slada plus Wyvern compared to Slada plus SF, I think Slada plus Wyvern is much more flexible, even though it's Radiant Shadow Fiend. I think if you open with 2 of your cores, it's usually not so flexible in your picks, so I think I like this much better. And they get their Night Stalker this game.
Ooh, that is interesting.
Their draft is looking really, really strong right now. Yep. Very solid.
You got to imagine the 4th pick is going to be the Shadow Fiend or Wind Ranger. Mostly they've been preferring the Shadow Fiend so far.
Because CDEC have been opening with the Gyro in all their games, it doesn't allow their draft to be much more flexible in terms of like when they actually draft maybe some other heroes first, they can actually put aggressive on maybe an Ember or something else, you know, something much more carry heavy like Ember or PL. But because they have been opening with Gyro a lot, it's very, very stable team fight, very solid carry, but it doesn't scale much better like AM, or it doesn't scale as strong as the other carries.
It's the first time Mineski can get the Night Stalker, but if CDC want, the one flexibility they can do is the Tusk, playing him either as an offlaner or as a support, and Darkseer is still in the pool, something CDC have not been able to get their hands on.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because they banned Brood instead this time.
They banned out the Viper and the Brood, and the Brood was the last ban in the last game,
yeah,
so they
this time around they
as well.
Bumped it up from 5th ban to 4th ban.
Because they were worried about the Brood, what happened in the first game, so they kind of don't want that anymore. So second phase ban. Okay. So that actually opens up the Dark. I think the Darkseer would be a really good pick for them right now. This is very, very, very strong draft. Like plus Darkseer, then they have Gyrocopter, Vacuum Calder. It's very solid for them.
I'm really surprised to see CDC like. I feel like the one pick that last game, they keep going back for this Visage. Not that Visage was a weak pick, but Dazzle is going untouched against Slaughter SF drafts. Like, why do you not pick Dazzle against Slaughter SF? That to me is just criminal right there. Like that, there is no rhyme or reason to that in my mind.
I mean, I guess they don't really care about that so much. Like certain
they
teams
should care,
Lich.
Winter.
Certain teams will pick Lich to counter the amp damage or any defensive spell, but it feels like CDEC are just very concerned about getting their, like, they just want to get what they want to do, get their picks and just run it. They don't really feel that it's so important to counter what Mineski does. Like, I always get that feeling from CDEC. They, regardless of who they're facing, what type of lineup they're playing, they're just going to run their game, their play, their tempo, and they just try to play. They are not like EG where they always try to maneuver, outdraft the opponents and outplay the opponents, or even secret. They are more of a team that focuses a lot on just delivering what they want to do in the game.
Radiant team back.
Okay, well, AA going to come out for CDEC with a bounty hunter. So this locks Tusk into the offlane position. Last pick going to be the mid hero for Shiki, and
This
a
is
different draft.
This is like a very weird A pickup here. There's not much like stuff that it counters apart from Embrace, and then you don't actually have a hero that, like, sometimes you see teams pick Nyx and A, or A plus
Reserve
Ember
time.
Spirit, A plus Clockwork, stuff like this are very, very good combination in team fights.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they can still go back for Darkseid, but I think it's quite obvious bad for Mineski. Like, that's one of the stronger
they need a
picks.
mid.
Oh yeah, they can't do the right. You're right, because they have the bounty as well. They
Yeah,
can't do Darkseid anymore.
They're looking for
yeah.
like a Lina or a Dragon Knight type pick, depending on what they want, whether they want something. Well,
They
I
need
know.
stuns though, because they have A and B.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at. I guess Dragon Knight as a reliable stun. Lina not
Yeah.
bad, but
Dragon Knight's better this game, I think, because of the Slada.
yep.
I don't know. It doesn't. Their draft is not very solid this game. The last two games were solid, but not this game.
Well, we'll see. Last ban onto an Ember Spirit. Surprised to see them worried about Ember when you've got Slada, Wyvern. You've got 4 heroes that can all like lock down Ember in place, and
Yeah, but
lots of
it's
physical
still
damage.
it's still a very good synergy hero with the A, like I mentioned.
Yep.
The cold, the chilling touch plus the ice blast and everything, and the cold fit with the searing chains, everything works very well together. And even the vortex buffs up the ember's damage a lot.
Radiant
AM
team
ban, really?
Like, well, Cuckoo normally plays the Wind Ranger as well. Maybe it's not something CDC are aware of. But...
Yeah, they're not aware of that. Yeah, true.
Oh well, actually no. Jay plays anti-mage, so they could have done anti-mage for Jay. So.
Yeah, but their lineup feels like they just need something more aggressive, and they are going to be able to run over the gyro this game.
Yep.
I just feel that way, like something they can fight early. Even Juggernaut is this game would be nice for them.
10 seconds remaining.
NS plus Slada off lane, Wyvern plus Jog, and Wind Ranger mid.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll find out what Mineski going to do. Another pick they do some if they want to go a bit greedier. Mineski known to run quite a bit of
Alchemist?
Spectre as well. Well, Alchemist? I was thinking Spectre, but
Oh, Alchemist is not so good versus Ice Blast, yeah. Maybe Spectre.
it's
But
okay
they don't,
this
the
game.
thing is, like, they don't have to be greedy versus this
No,
lineup.
they
just
don't
need
have
to be able
to,
to
but
fight.
last game they didn't have to be greedy as well, but yet they chose to go anti-mage.
Yeah,
That's just
I
where
know.
I feel like they may
Yeah,
feel
but
it's
they
safer.
were not supposed to be in the last game, but
You know?
whatever.
I don't know if Mineski look at it that way though, Winter. There you go, Joe. So much safer pick and something that can fight early. Great against Gyro.
Yeah.
Get out
This
track.
was what I expected the last game, the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
But okay, so it's like quite a strong carry, and it's very good versus Gyro, because generally late game you don't really need an AM to beat the Gyro. Like Juggernaut is so strong versus Gyro because you can't do anything. How can you actually itemize to fight Juggernaut as Gyro? You have to rely on your teammates. That's the only way you can do it.
There we go. Dragon Knight picked up last week. Talked about getting some additional lockdown, especially now there's a Jug as well. Having an insta-stun
Yeah.
to be able to
It's the
gank and
armor.
catch him.
He has the armor against Slada,
Yeah.
so there's like 2 great points of getting that Dragon Knight in this lineup versus Mineski.
It's not Cuckoo on
But
the Wind Ranger.
it's not it's the other way around, Juggernaut and Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess regardless, it's still the overall strategy that matters
Yeah, yeah.
the most. This
No.
game, CDEC's lineup has a lot of pressure to do very well in the early game, and they need to utilize the Dragon Knight and Gyro very well this game. Not like the last game. Last game they can take things a bit more slower because they can actually win at a slower pace, but this game they have to play very fast pace, and they have very little room for error this game, because it's a Dragon Knight mid. So it's all down on the Gyro to carry, but then Gyro doesn't do well versus these heroes.
Alright, well we'll see the same early ward come out from Jesse Vash again in the off lane. We'll see if it's something CDC catch up and are aware of this time around. They've got a sentry at the ready.
Slada bought him the TP. LL. Because NS has boots. He started with boots, so Slada actually pulled the NS the TP.
Nice. Poor guy.
Yes, supports are getting,
Yeah?
more
It's
priority
75 gold,
nowadays.
you know? Not too big a deal. Will it be dewarded? Because something... Oh, aggressive. He's there with the sentry. Not going to drop it right
Oh,
away.
yeah, this was the same ward, the 3 games. Oh no, actually one of the games
Two.
wasn't, but 2 of the games.
Both games Mineski
Yeah.
are Radiant. And you got to imagine teams like during the 5-minute break between games are maybe popping up the replay to see where some of these wards are. I feel like, or their coach slash manager is
sentry.
telling them.
Oh, sentry. I thought he was gonna do it.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see Bounty Hunter for Gata scout out the early Mineski rotation down bottom. It looks like both teams will grab a rune apiece. And unfortunately for Bounty, I don't think he scouted that ward from Jules. Oh no, he pings it now. It seems maybe it was scouted. And bottom room will be snagged up by Mineski. Top one by Shiki on the CDEC side. No big surprises as far as the lanes go from the two teams, it looks like, as very standard stuff comes out. Jesse Vash going to be roaming around, looking to basically counterplay the Knights, the Bounty Hunter rotations.
Yeah, this game, CDEC has to be able to make sure that the bounty rotations work so they can actually speed up their timing now. So they're going to be under a lot of pressure to make the early game work for them. And with Jesse Vash around middle lane pressuring the DK, it's going to put him at a rough start.
Easy D-ward, Ryu. Both games I've seen him in this offlane slider with the sentry. He's found that D-ward and he finds it once more. And he's going to fight Q. This is an okay battle for him until aggressive comes out. Nice awareness, seeing the gyrocopter make the move off the creep wave, and it's a good start to his offlane endeavors.
Yeah, all he needs is just levels this game, and maybe the Night Stalker would come and help him out at certain point. Even before the Night phase, I think you can actually come and help the starter because A is just a very easy kill if you catch him.
Okay. Well, similarly, XC in the offlane task getting some experience to start things off, using the Ice Shard trick to block creep waves in, and we'll see this tower now. Well, not the tower, but the Juggernaut force the last hit underneath his tower.
Yeah,
Not
and
the
they
end of the
didn't
world.
realize the cam was blocked as well,
Yeah.
so they weren't able to do a double pull. So the creep wave will push, so the task will actually get much more experience right now.
Oh yeah, this is handy for him. He throws a nice shot though, so maybe not going to push as much as he'd like it to, but early harass coming out from Jules with the Arctic Burn. We've seen Jules mostly in the last two games on the Wyvern prioritize the mid lane and helping out there, but this time around with the Night Stalker not feeling as much pressure to do so, Jules needs to be careful. No Arctic Burn, and here comes Garda with an Orb of Venom. Possibly looking to get aggressive here on the Winter Wyvern, but you will be fighting into a Juggernaut Blade Fury, so always a tricky one to manage.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for them to get a kill. Even if they manage to get a kill, I feel like they would actually have to pay the price of losing one hero.
Yeah, bounty level 2 now, so you can get the Janata in the mix, and still a small window before Arctic Burn comes back up, but not sure if they want to go for this one. Tusk hits level 3 as well, so they've got a couple of key levels here, but looking like they're just gonna, see Jules split off and just go for a little bit of casual harass. Just get him low so that when the Tusk does now next come in, you have got the Wyvern already slightly low on HP. Top lane, Crush comes out, aggressive. Not going to do too much. Slater matching up pretty well against this lane. The sprint helps you get away from the rocket barrage, and there's no slows or lockdown for this lane with AA and Gyrocopter together, so a very manageable lane for a Slater.
Yeah, this lane is very, very good for Sala, like you mentioned, with the sprint. There's no way they can kill him unless he makes a mistake. I mean, there's a slow Ice Vortex, but unless
They
he
haven't
gets
got
hit
Ice
by, like,
Vortex Winter, it's okay.
Yeah, and you don't really see like homing missile early as well from Gyro, so there's very little kill potential. And with the Night Stalker rotating, they are the ones that can actually get a kill here.
Yeah, and just 0 mana sprint, so he's just like spamming out the sprint whenever he feels he's like wants to go in for a little, like try and get a CS. If he doesn't get it, he can sprint out, so using it very liberally. First blood, bottom lane, they've gone in. That was the aggression we talked about from the
one
bounty
for one
hunter.
though.
Yeah,
Like I mentioned, it was good. They have to pay the price of losing one hero regardless.
Yep. And luckily for them, they get the first blood. If the first blood did not go their way, it would definitely not have been worth it. And not a 1-for-1 trade they'll want to make anymore, now that it's no longer going to be for a first blood bonus gold.
Yeah, and nighttime is going to pop soon, so we'll see how much
Winter,
NS is...
what's going on mid? DK, 4 CS. What a stomping!
Man, it took me a few seconds to check. Oh my god, what is going on? 4 CS?
Night Stalker's been there a lot, which is partially why, but this Night Stalker's only level 2, so he hasn't been seeing that much on mid lane.
I kind of... It's hard to expect him to lose it so badly though.
You just spam your breathe fire. You bottle crow.
You get one creep per wave, at least.
Yeah. By 4 minutes in, you should have, yeah, way more CS than this. You get a level
Oh my
1 bottle
God.
because of your breathe fire, and you just rush bottle. There is no explanation or justification for having this CS. He should have at least like 15 CS right now, I feel.
Yep. Half of the win ranger is acceptable, but this is way too bad. Way too bad.
Bottom lane, they've gone in. Blade Fury's going to dodge a little bit with the snowball, but he's going to walk right into them with this, and I imagine they'll turn and fight. XZ, one last Ice Shards. Cuckoo gets low though. Has a cold embrace and a tanker to heal him back up.
Looking really, really bad for CDEC. They might just lose this game.
35 last hits, 13 denies to an 8 CS Dragon Knight. You know, very rarely do you see mid matchups like decide a game, but when it's this bad, it could. Shiki shackled under the tower. Void there as well. Power shot not even needed. He's just going to go for the focus fire, and Jesse Vash and Bimbo get the kill at mid.
Oh my god, what is going on?
Crazy stuff.
They can't lose if they lose the early game, they're just gonna flat out lose this game. They can't do anything when it goes to mid to late game versus this lineup.
Under attack.
No.
Oh my god.
What kind of adjustments can they even make at this point? Like, they've got a passive
there's no
support in
way-
the AA.
I mean, they can count on Mineski making mistakes and you punish it by getting track kills.
Okay.
But that's not a good way of counting.
You know,
counting on your opponents
it's
to
the
win
level
the game.
6 gyro. That's the hope, I guess. But you can't actually gank Juggernaut. That's why Jug is such a good pick against CDEC, because you can't do that TP to the offlane and gank a Jug when he can just Blade Fury away.
And you can't kill. It's so difficult for him to kill his lane as well because of the sprint, because they don't have enough block.
Yeah.
This is
Mid's
really,
got
like,
win
the-
run.
That's why I felt the ancient apparition was very weird here.
Yeah, normally
The lineup
you'd
is
see
very
teams like
weird.
Terra Rubik or something with the gyrocopter. Here we go, top lane though. They're looking to get aggressive onto Rio. Pops a sprint. He's going to run to the right, and Shiki, he doesn't get the latch on. He's got a haste rune though. Praise to the Lord that is S4. He's chasing after Rio, and this haste rune should be able to at least secure him a kill. Doesn't make it to the high ground. If he got to the high ground, could have got another stun off perhaps. Jesse Vash rotates him, looking for Q. Needs to be careful. Shiki still hasted up. Will wear off momentarily. We'll have another stun, and the Ice Vortex slowing him down. Once Jesse Vash, can he get him? The power shot comes in, snipes the AA. The breathe fire, just barely enough damage, and looks like Jay gonna get chased down here. The Tusk comes in. There's the cooldown. This is gonna be a big kill on the Wind Ranger in CDEC. They've salvaged ever so slightly their bad early game.
Oh my god.
The aggressive rotations on Gyrocopter, again and again, this man finds ways to get his team into the game.
And they're gonna get a tower, maybe? With this?
Nah, they'll
probably
get some
not.
damage, that's all.
Radiant's middle
Oh,
tower
this guy
Breathe fire,
just
they
makes
actually
the
might. They'll get close to bringing this tower down.
This guy just makes the appropriate rotations every freaking time. But
Yep.
they are still in a very, very bad
And,
spot right now.
I mean,
They've
for
got all the
Mineski, they'll be
lanes.
kicking themselves a bit because they could have just lost Slater and lost nothing else. It didn't have to go down like that.
Yeah, but they wanted to go for the extra kill. They got the AA kill, but it was not worth it.
No.
So, yeah.
bottom tower is under attack.
Ryu now. Still
Guess it's
singing
not
his
a
top
Mineski-
lane.
It's not a Mineski game if there's no mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, you know,
They play so risky.
they're gonna play hard mode. Top lane, here comes
I mean,
Bounty
this
and
game
AA.
is the same as the first game. They don't have to do anything. They just need to relax and farm, and then their lineup will just ultimately overpower CDC.
Oh, nice
Oh, no,
tower
Shiki-
kill, and they get the shackle. Shiki could be in some trouble here. It may be daytime. One more power shot coming up soon, but here comes the gyro again. The cold, no, it's not gonna land. He just gets out of range, gets thrown up in the air. Is there another rocket barrage? It's coming soon. Cold embrace is there. Raging potato getting low, but he's gonna survive it with the help of the creeps to tank it. Mineski will turn it around. Slater elsewhere in the top lane gets the kill. Shackle shot, Omni slash. This time it's Cuckoo with a rotation. The regen rune for Ghana. He's got an invis in 2 seconds. Should be able to survive. Is there detection? The Blade Fury. Can he get away? They're going to miss the crush. He manages not to power shot from Jay. Snipes him, and Mineski get a tower and a couple of kills, including a very important one on the gyro.
Dire's top tower
That was a
is under
3
attack.
for nothing. And
Oh
the
my
T1
god,
tower.
you know, at the back of the mind of CDEC, they might have just felt that they just lost the game there. That was so game losing for them, having that happen with their lineup.
They had to go for it though. Like, they had such a bad start. Like, that to me is still like the rotation you've got to try and make.
Yeah, Yeah, true. That's right too. They needed to actually do something to come back into the game
And
because
it
they
was-
lost their lanes so badly.
If that snowball cooldown had just latched onto the Wind Ranger, it would have been a very different story, different outcome. Well,
Shit
with
happens,
that-
I guess.
it's a game of inches, Winter. Game of inches. Winter Wyvern now level 6, so there's Winter's Curse online, and on the Dire side there's no track, no Ice Blast. Both these supports level 5, so they're at least close to their ultimates, but it just means that for CDEC they can't just go, like normally this is where like they'd say, okay, let's just smoke up and go find a kill. They've got to wait for at least track to come online, and ideally they'll leave AA top to farm at level 6 and throw Ice Blast around the map.
Yeah, and you look at Kuku's item build as well. He's going for more stats heavy. Like he's not going to like a greedy like maybe a battle free rush or any farming item. He just wants to be able to fight. He knows that if they just win the mid game engagements, there's no way CDEC could actually win this game because they are much stronger late game once more.
You can see the game plan. Dragon Knight holding onto a smoke. He's saying, guys, when we're ready, we are smoking and finding a freaking kill.
If they keep farming, they're gonna lose the game. So
Yeah.
basically, he has to dictate the tempo of the game with his Dragon Knight.
And it has to be the Dragon Knight. He's the setup. Bottom lane, they're going to go in for a Winter's Curse on the Garda. They'll Blade Fury him down with the Dust. Normally you don't see a Winter's Curse for a solo pick-off so much, but Mineski just happy to play a more slow-paced game here. Top lane, Ryu gets stunned up. Could be in a bit of trouble here, thrown up in the air, and well, there we go. They'll secure the kill.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Did they
Well,
use the smoke? They used the smoke, right? Because I remember they actually saw.
Yeah, it was on the DK, so it looks like they did. Yeah, because they bypassed the Radiant Observer Ward using that, and now looking to follow up with a tower, I imagine.
Oh, this is.
Here come
This is
Mineski.
so anxious. This is so anxious for CDEC. They need
Yeah.
to secure a very big advantage for the early game.
Mineski have Glyph and everything. I don't see this tower going down, and yeah, CDC realized it, and also realized that Jug could TP in with an Omni Slash. Doesn't have a TP for now. He's looking for this bottom tier 1 tower, and it looks like CDC want to make a play on it. Cuckoo goes in with a Blade Fury, now looking to possibly turn around for an Omni, but I think the side is not a fight he wants to take. He's being snowballed after now. There's a couple of creeps there as well. Garda now going to slow him down. Does he go for the Omni Slash? He's got a healing what he needs to use it. Phase away. Can he get out of this one? Ice Shard's up in a couple of seconds. He misses it though. Oh, Cuckoo. Not going to get out though. Warrior's punch and yep, one last right click from Garda. That was almost a botched kill. Important for CDEC to get those, but they still lost their T1 tower, denied by the Gyro. They're going to lose a T1 at top as well, so Mineski get a couple of towers for it, but I'd say like an ever so slight mistake from them, although they're still very much in control.
Yeah, if only he had a TP instead of a Quelling Blade, he would definitely survive there. And he's done. He sold something for the TP, but he had the ban of Elven Skin just now.
Well,
Radiant's bottom tower.
that was and very much like when I was looking at him as the fight was breaking out towards top lane, I was thinking, okay, all he needs is a possible TP to go up there.
Yeah.
But Garda has done a pretty good job on the bounty hunter, getting a lot of scouting
As we
information.
learned from last game, Parker, TP is very important.
Yes, name of the game. I'm sure there's a few plays in Frankfurt who can tell you about that one.
Tower is under attack.
Every time, man, it's always me casting those crazy no TP games. It was the same thing at DAC.
The DAC game, were you casting that as well?
Yep, I was.
Oh, I think we were actually doing that game. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the two of us. Come on, Winter. I wasn't 100% sure I was you I was casting with, but yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, I was casting with Ben, wasn't I?
Was it? Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe I wasn't.
I think I was casting with Ben. You were on the panel. Anyways, here we go. CDC. Lurking around this top lane. Seeing what they can find.
Oh, they just randomly popped the dust there. They thought Garda was nearby. But it's still very anxious for CDC. They are looking to find any advantage they can from the map. As the game goes by, it's getting very, very hard for them. The longer they wait, the more difficult it gets.
Yeah. Jesse Vash only level 5 on Night Stalker. He's actually the lowest level in the game right now, and
yeah, but he did his job though. He secured
Yes.
so much space for the mid lane and the top lane.
And it's something which all it's going to take is like a fight or two where he stays alive, and he's likely to stay alive because he's such a low priority kill for CDEC. They're much more likely to try and focus down a Wind Ranger or a Jug, or even someone like a support Wyvern who can do a whole lot more with the Splinter Blast spam as well as Cold Embrace, Winter's Curse.
Man, just look at the net worth of these two heroes, the Wind Ranger and the Juggernaut. It's absurd right now for them.
Yep. And Slider about to pick up a blink, so...
Mineski is having such a big... This 4k lead is actually bigger than it is because of the matchup, the lineup they have.
Well,
It feels like it's like a 7k lead that Mineski have right now.
and this is before they hit their timings. They're just now
As
going
long
to hit
as,
an Axe
as long
and
as
a
they
blink.
don't make mistakes and they don't give away track kills, too many of those, they should be able to take this game.
Possibly a big if, Winter. You know, you never... There's a lot of pressure here. $3 million teams are competing for in Frankfurt, and... We've seen crazy things happen. Secret lost a game to Newbie Young earlier today, so this is very much possibly a tournament where upsets can happen, and even a team with a comfortable lead. I mean, Mineski winning this would be an upset, but we've seen leads get thrown already. Here in
Mineski
Frankfurt.
has like the better draft this game. It's a similar case in the first game, but
Yes.
first game they didn't execute. So if you're a Mineski fan, you just hope that Mineski pull their game together, make
Cool.
very few mistakes, and
is
they
solid.
should be able to.
5-man smoke, they get their Blink Dagger on Slider, they get the Ags on Wind Ranger, and level 6 on Night Stalker, and then
Roshan,
say,
they're
hey,
gonna go
let's
rush. This is the typical Mineski play. They smoke and they go for rush.
Not even going for kills. Very few.
No.
Like this is a very unique thing to Mineski because most teams would just go for kills here.
Oh, the Tusk.
Do they continue Roche here?
That's
Ice Blast
Ice
goes
Blast,
flying
though.
in. If they dodge, if they see the Ice Blast get used, they may look to re-engage. Doesn't look like they want to do so just yet. No, they're pinging to go back in, and it looks like they know Ice Blast is on cooldown. They've got the Healing Ward, and basically saying, CDC, come fight us. We're strong right now. We've got Winter's Curse, and Roche is dropping too fast. Ace Rune on the ground here on the back line. It's going to be Jesse Bash called out. He gets out of the cooldown, though. No, he walks back in, and unfortunately for him, that means he will go down. There's a Winter's Curse onto Shiki. Omni Slash as well. Shiki done for. Q as well in trouble. There's going to be an aggressive gyrocopter in the
Oh my
backline being
God.
chased down by Ryu, but who's
They
chasing
are doing
who?
it.
Aggressive. TP out, crushes. Oh, half a second too late. Woo, Mineski. Get Roshan, win the fight that comes.
They are doing
Could have been
it.
even
God.
worse.
Mr. Parker, Mineski is doing it this game.
They are doing
What?
it, Winter. Do you
They're in
believe?
such a big lead.
Laban Mineski.
They can't lose this right from this position.
It really does not feel like they can. I mean, it's 16 minutes in. They haven't taken a tier 2 tower. Casters are not meant to call games like early and stuff, but this is a draft which, I mean, the CDEC draft was very much all in on the early game. You draft Dragon Knight, Bounty Hunter, Gyro, like this is, you're looking to win the lanes and take towers one by one with DK. They have not done that. They have not succeeded. They've taken one tower the entire game. And that tower was denied. God, are now caught out. Nothing is going the way of CDEC. Their draft is just not finding anything right now.
Game
A comeback
is
should
super
not be
tough.
possible, Winter, but
The last game it was not quite possible, but it did happen. So
yes.
until
Last
the throne
game though,
goes down,
it shouldn't have been possible, but Mineski at least had a late game lineup. This time around, it's like
they
it shouldn't
had
be.
anti-mage.
It's the same thing where it shouldn't be possible, and on top of that, there's no late game for CDEC. So it's like, if they come back, what are they coming back into? A weaker late game. Whereas last game, Mineski, they could take advantage of the CDEC misplays to turn the game around. Snowball in top, Ryu, he's on the run.
How many
great
mistakes
escape.
Mineski?
Gonna run into a cooldown, gets off the crush. He may still survive this one just yet. He's got another blink soon, and hashtag space created.
How many mistakes that Mineski has to make for them to lose this game? A lot, I can tell you.
I mean, maybe if like you pull a Swindle Melons and accidentally kill off your Ag Scepter or something. Oh,
They can
I dropped my
still
Ag
win.
Scepter and it got denied. Uh-oh,
Dude,
suddenly the
even
game gets
if
harder.
that happens, they still have the lineup to win.
Yep, that's the thing. They need to do that as well as feed away a fair few kills, so...
Okay, 2 team wipes with like 6 track kills.
Oh yeah, they've got track. So okay, we talked about the lack of comeback, but track is the one thing which I guess gives some possibility, and
You know, if the game is like they have track and we still feel it's difficult, you know how difficult it is.
yep. It's...
Usually against BH, like one bad mistake, you lose, and you turn, you change the whole game with like 3 or 4 track kills. But
Yeah.
this game, Mineski has the lineup to allow them like at least 2 or 3 chances.
And
They can lose
Mineski
the few team
just
fights.
aren't going greedy. Cuckoo on the jug going for an SMY as opposed to any kind of greedy battle fury like you mentioned. So very much going for early game, more stats focused items. Wind Ranger rushing an Aghanim Scepter, just tanking. I mean, that's fairly standard stuff, but it's so difficult to get these comeback kills when they're this tanky. Oh, no detection. Unfortunate for Jules. He gets it delivered. Oh no, they hit the dust! Jesse Vash blindly throws it. Meanwhile, top lane, the more exciting fight. Shiki gonna get caught out of the Dragon Knight. That's an Omni-Slash kill. Raging
my
Potato
God,
gets low,
they're
but there's no
doing it.
follow damage. XC gonna go down. That's a gem loss! Cuckoo says, hey guys, come and grab this one. He may just pick it up himself. They did finish off the Bounty Hunter over on the dire side of the map, but that was a
I think
big
they
win.
just won the game, dude.
That's a... Not only do they win the fight and get a 1200 gold change, but it's an 1800 gold change with the gem. That's a huge gold swing with that gem. That was a big investment for CDEC and it gets instantly lost.
That was their last way of coming back into the game as well, because they needed the gem to control the map so they can actually find the appropriate pickoff with the BH.
Yeah.
But right now they even lose that. So Mineski can just basically chill, wait for night every time and just farm and out farm.
Oh, they're gonna
lose
blink crush
aggressive
here,
as well.
aggressive, gonna get caught out. Does he look to
he's not
re-engage? His
getting out.
TP's still on cooldown and Ryu comes back in, he's got another crush, it's a power shot as well! Oh man! Gyro goes down and CDEC have just got to be looking at each other and asking the big question, what do we do? Is this just it? Are we going down to the lower bracket?
Oh my god.
They've got to blink on Dragon Knight, but even so, you blink stun someone, at best you can kill one hero if you throw everything, and by everything I mean the Ice Blast,
if you're
the Shard,
CDEC right now,
the cooldown.
you're thinking like, we better hope that Mineski throws the game away, because there's no way they can actually win this without the help of Mineski.
Yep. And right now,
There's like literally
Mineski,
no way.
Mineski have confidence and composure. That Game 2 victory for them has done a huge amount of good for this team and their mental state, I imagine. And right now, it's showing. Everything very disciplined right now. Possibly
they just need
considering
to
just
chill.
waiting
This
another
is the
Roshan.
same situation like the first game. They just need to chill and they're gonna win the game. They don't need
Well, the first
to
game they
do-
never chilled. They were nowhere near this far ahead in the first game. The first game they were kind of even on gold, but had the stronger draft. Like they never even had more than like a 1 to 2k gold lead in game 1. Right now we're looking at a 10k plus gold lead, and the better late game draft.
They have to just not make any risky plays, not give away track kill, and they're gonna be
Here we
winning
go.
this game for
Blink
sure.
stun available. They get Cuckoo with this one.
Okay,
Bimbo
this-
says you're on your own. Gets the Omni Slash off. Blade Fury gets that as well. Still gonna go down.
Oh,
That's
no.
a track kill. He got the retrack off afterwards. Jay's re-engaged. He gets the shackle, but there's another DK stun.
Oh, dear.
Second track kill goes with CDEC. Cut your losses,
Please.
Mineski. That's got to be the call here.
They
Blink
should have
out.
ditched him. Oh my god.
Yep. I think he initially ditched him, and then he saw, oh, he got the Omni Slash off. I better go back in.
Oh no, they give away the gem back. Okay.
Oh, that was the gem as well? A gem and 2 track kills? Well,
Okay.
Step 1, CDC, get a couple of track kills. Step 2, get a couple more. Step 3, keep on getting some more. They just gotta keep on doing this bit by bit. And you never know. Mineski have given a lifeline to CDEC here, and well, CDEC will take the tier 2 tower, as well as those track golds, back to the bank.
That's
And that was-
huge tension. That was big. That was so big for them.
And that's like a 3
was
to
like
4,000 gold swing.
That
off
was
of
like
2
5,000,
kills.
at least 5,000 gold given away.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower is
And
under
with the
attack.
gem, it makes a big difference. As Tusk, holding on to that one now. Jay, he's just TP down bottom on respawn. He's down here alone, and CDC are actually rotating. Gyro went top though, but they may still jump him here. Jay's gonna be careful. He's got the blink dagger. If he shows himself, he could be done for.
He knows they're there. For
And
sure.
he's trapped though, because he's got no TP. He's gonna back up, and if you back off, you're backing right into the bounty hunter. And yeah, he blinks into the tree. Smart move from Jay. Bounty now with a completed mech back at base. They're gonna scout with the Ice Blast. Not gonna see him. Oh, did it? He blinked in. I think it was just out of range. They didn't ping or
Okay,
anything. And
this is the fight. If Mineski loses this fight, CDEC will be back in the game.
Well, Mineski gonna smoke up, run right into Garda. Jesse Vash drops a sentry, but where's the dust? Garda gets slowed down once. They're gonna get the blink crush off Garda. A bit of a
No
tough
dust?
spot here. They don't want to
they don't
commit
have
to this
dust.
one. They didn't have vision of the rest of the CDEC draft, and they were worried about going blindly into a cooldown, I imagine, but they had that pick off if they wanted it. They play it safe.
They need to just make sure they don't give too much track kills away. The last 2 kills were really big.
The next Roshan
plan.
is soon.
Chill, try to not take too much risks and keep farming.
Well, for CDC, they've hit a couple more items now. Bounty with a mech, Tusk with a Ghost Scepter, and BKB coming soon for Gyrocopter. Not all hope is lost, but it's going to be tricky. It's going to be an uphill battle for CDEC, but you can see now the net worth of the Gyrocopter getting closer.
They need more help from Mineski if they want to come back into the game. Another few more kills given away like the last time, then Mineski will be in a very big trouble.
What's the plan here? Mineski grouping up a little bit. It feels like
They're
almost
probably
Mineski want to get a gem, but I guess first they want to complete the Ag Scepter.
They're probably gonna maybe try and smoke Roshan again.
Again.
Judging by
CDC
their
have
habits.
got to be aware of that play though. I mean, they are going to be constantly scouting out for it. They're trying to de-ward around the pit itself. Right now, Mineski's vision is still pretty good despite the gem. The eye shards to scout up this cliff, but they have not checked the lower one below Roche, so this ward may go undetected, and it looks like that is exactly the case, so a really nice ward from Mineski, bypassing the gem, and
Yep, and they have their dust now on the NS.
they smoke as Roche has come back up. Ice Vortex is there to scout it out.
Are they gonna run into Roche and then they're gonna see the ice? Okay, no.
I'm
they're
sure
gonna
they
try and
realize
get
they've
that
got to
kill.
win a fight, and they're drawing lines directly at CDEC. CDEC have the high ground though. This is risky. Shiki's in position. As is aggressive, no aggressive, he's running right towards them. Mineski gonna catch vision of him soon. XZ is there, they pop the nighttime. XZ gets ignored, instead they go for the blink crush on Shiki. They want the Dragonite aggressive. He gets Winter's Curse, nice call down. Raging Potato gets slow, still alive, goes for the courier of all things. Snowball, Jay goes down, and now Mineski gonna buy back the win range. An important fight. Gyrocopter slow, the ice shots will save his life, and Cuckoo can't get him. Mineski have lost 2, possibly more. Ryu is on the run. They've also committed the buyback to this one, and only a Dragonite is dead. Oh boy.
Why are they trying to help CDEC? What is going on?
They're going into Roche though. They're saying we used the buyback. We better make it count. Can CDEC stop this one? The mech from Garda coming in clutch as well as some huge ice shards. The Roche is dropping fast. It looks like it's coming too fast. Ice Shard is there with an Ice Blast. Aegis gets picked up by Wind Ranger. Jesse Bash definitely to go down.
Oh
and they may even lose Wind Ranger not just once, but possibly twice. Shackle not going to land. Bimbo, he's in trouble. Can he get the blink out? He has it on respawn. Rocket Barrage will be there. Doesn't get the blink. It's a 4-star from the white to what? Wait, no, wet 4-star.
4-star from the Slada, dude.
Oh, Slada. I was like, where is the Slada? Slada forced him, then TP. Damn.
Oh, that was not worth it. Oh, track kill again. That was the last thing that you want happening if you're Mineski, and it's happening. Oh my god, okay.
Oh, Jay, careful. And we're back to dead even on net worth, Winter. The mountain has been climbed. CDEC, they're on top of Mount Everest. The question is, can they get back down safely? Getting up is a challenge. Getting down is, well, they're going to have to do that. And without a very good late game lineup.
Why are they doing this to us, Parker?
They got to give not just us, but Mineski fans all over the world heart attacks at this rate. This is... You sound like a disappointed dad right now. Just gotta relax, play safe, play calm.
Yeah, they just need to keep farming. Don't do anything too risky. Just go for the kills that are secure.
Yeah.
And just make sure you don't give track kills. And then
They should have really waited the Night Stalker Ag Scepter too. That would have just allowed them to pick and choose their fights.
Yeah, he was
so
like
much
halfway
better
there, you know, at that point.
He was like 500 short. He's only now 350 away. if they have an Ags on Night Stalker, they were feeling threatened because Roche was back up, and they don't want CDEC to take Roche, but CDEC have a terrible Roche lineup.
Even if CDEC takes Roche, they can still make a successful base defense and win the game.
Yes,
They
I
just need to
agree.
make any risky plays and just wait for the act. Like we talk about Night Stalker, why he's so strong. Because of the second timing of the hero. The first timing is obviously in the early game, he's very powerful, and then the second timing is his agonies, where he allows his team to choose the fights and make better decisions when you're choosing to take the fights. And they were not waiting for that item before they tried to make any more. Like that play would have been perfect if they had agonies on NS.
Yeah, it was very much the bounty giving more vision than what the Night Stalker can right now. When they get the Ags now, they need that. I mean, you mentioned the gem. I feel like it's got to come ASAP. No one can afford it just yet. Wyvern in a couple hundred gold possibly, or maybe Jesse Vash will just buy it himself. But
Oh my god.
Mineski have got to be just telling themselves, let's slow things down now.
You know what, dude? This series, like all the 3 games, every game should have been very straightforward. Every game.
Yes.
But it had to be like this. Every game.
And you said it coming in. Game 1, it felt like Mineski should have won, and CDEC took it away from them. Game 2, it was CDEC's, and then a crazy base race, as well as CDEC just forcing the issue, not going for Roshan, created a comeback as well. So it's been 2 comebacks so far.
So
Are we in for a third?
according to history, CDEC is supposed to win this, right? Because they're coming back into this game.
And we've got 2 games to go by, and that's a big enough sample size for me, Winter. It feels like we may be in for a possible comeback.
Oh my god, it's so stressful if you are playing in this sort of game. Oh my god, I can't imagine the players.
I guess maybe they don't realize quite how far ahead they were. It's hard to know
you
if they...
had the game. I mean, you have to have somewhat a really good idea when you drafted this lineup, and you know that CDEC is going to be very anxious about ending the game. Oh no, Gada, is he going to get any more track kills for his team?
Jules is... I think he was just trying to farm up the gem. He was like 80 gold short. He gets over the ice shot. Shackle is there. Xe gets off the Ghost Scepter though. Jules still in trouble. Winter's curse on Gada. Doesn't catch anyone else. The BKB from Aggressive allowed him to run past it.
Oh,
And
cool,
Gyro
cool.
going to go for a TP out.
Run,
No
my
cancel.
friends.
Yeah, run. Everybody get out. DK has another stun though. The Shackle not going to latch, and Jesse Vash caught out. Brought down. There's going to get the Warriors punch on Rio as well. He's in trouble now. They're going to lose 3. CDEC walking all over Mineski. One by one, they find the pickoffs, and track by track, they get back into this game and will pull ahead in terms of overall
they
net
just
worth.
needed to ditch the Wyvern again. Stop trying
That's
to
been
go
the
in.
story of this game. Just ditch your buddies when you're in trouble. We saw it mid when the Jug got caught out and Wind Ranger went back in. That was the first 2 pickoffs that started the comeback. Was the Jug and the Wind Ranger in mid lane by the tier 1 tower. And CDEC gonna get, it looks like a tier 3 tower off of this. The Shackle lands, nicely played, but the Cold Feet gonna latch. Jay's gonna be careful. He gets out of the Cold Feet. The Snowball in though is gonna cause him to front. The Cold Embrace not enough. Cuckoo now forced back, and Wind Ranger dead for 80 seconds without buyback. Possibly see not just the tier 3, but a Rax if Mineski don't have some way of holding this one. Looks like the call is to chase though. Everyone on the CDEC side low, but they're starting to heal up. The mech kicks back in, and they're ready for Mineski, should they chase further.
Oh dear, what has happened? You know, that this was the only way CDEC could have come back into the game, by Mineski helping them, and they did give them such a huge favor. That was like what, 4 track kills in a row, or 5?
Let's not show that anymore. Yeah, that was a lot of track kills.
What was Roland laughing about? Was it the network?
You know, yep,
I can hear
network
him
drop.
I can hear him laughing.
We've got a very chatty, very involved producer. He's invested in this game, Winter, much like we are. This is,
Man, I'm so stressed right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
especially like, I mean, for you, like as a former player, you've been in this position. Think TI2, Orange versus eHome. You were in this exact position. How can you lose the game and then
Radiant's bottom tower is under
catastrophe
attack.
strikes? What is it like, Winter? How do you like? What do you do here to compose yourself?
I don't know, dude.
If you knew, that game would have gone better, perhaps. I don't know. Sorry to bring back bad memories, Winter, but
Well, at least the prize pool wasn't that big back then. So
It's true. Man, that's
think it was
crazy
like
to think
I
this
think it was
major has a bigger prize pool
it
than
was
TI2.
between 25,000 and 50,000. It wasn't as big as now, something like that,
Yeah.
or maybe 40,000.
Well.
Back then, 7 and 8 place was 25k. Right now it's 800k. Yes.
Times have changed. And CDEC are looking to change this game 3.
How is this even happening, dude? How?
There's a Scotty now on Gyro. He's just going for pure survivability. He wants to be able to survive the Omni Slash,
Now,
get more
now
stats,
they
more
have to
armor.
execute like inch perfect to win the fight. They can still do it. Believe.
Well, it's a 7,000 gold deficit, and they've got a pretty good late game lineup. They've got the vision advantage from a Night Stalker, especially once he gets a gem. It feels like they need BKBs, and that's exactly what they're building on a couple of heroes. Wind Ranger as well as Slaughter. Just to be able to negate like the cooldown, Rocket Barrage, the DK stuns. So spammable. They're going in aggressive. They want Shiki, but he's got backup. This is a four stuff out. Shiki, snowball in. Jay could be in some trouble. He gets punched up into the air. Shiki gets the stun. They're going to lose the Wind Ranger. Cuckoo's got an Omni Slash. He's got to find a way to get it off. Shiki, he's already tanked the Winter's Curse. That's now on cooldown. Cuckoo goes for a Blade Fury TP out. Where's that Walrus Punch? It's on cooldown. He'll make it out. Jules maybe just as lucky as well. Just the one casualty. But Mineski, they're not taking it slowly. They're not staying calm. They were going on the aggressive there.
They need someone to tell them, relax, you're doing fine in the game.
Chat wheel's hotkey possibly broken. Who knows? Cuckoo on the front lines, just trying to delay things. Needs to be careful. Shiki's got a blink stun here. Are they going to go for it under the tier 4 towers? He's got a buyback, but this is not a kill. He's going to be giving up. And Jump goes down. No, it's on cooldown. He doesn't have buyback. Oh no. No, he didn't have buyback. I was clicking someone else who had it, and now we'll see them swing towards bottom. Jug is dead. Wind Range is dead for 12 more seconds. They may just get a second lane of racks here. They're on the higher ground. They're pushing, and they're looking to clinch game number 3. The decider against Mineski. Tied in the noose and put Mineski into their grave. Mineski will not tap out just yet, but it's a second melee rack's about to be claimed. 3v5. And Mineski aren't even going to try and make a play onto this one. Roche about to respawn as well, and CDEC in a perfect position to take it.
It's all my fault.
You put on the Winter's Curse.
I cursed them, oh my god.
You weren't meant to curse Mineski. They were meant to be the ones doing the Winter's Curse this game.
This is so hard for me to watch. If only you could see my face right now, my reaction, oh my god. The pure fish.
They've still got a lower bracket hope should they lose this game. One thing, this game's not over yet.
It's so demoralizing to lose a game like this.
Yep.
It's very hard to come back from a loss like this. When you know deep down in your heart that you got that game, you were supposed to win that game 10 times in a row, and then you lost the game.
Is there still a chance for Mineski here? I mean, we were talking about how there was no chance, or very little to no chance for CDEC earlier. Well, Jules caught out in the jungle. He'll go down. Just trying to get some more sound.
You know what I said 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago? The only way they can lose is giving away track kills.
I mean, how many track kills are we looking at? I mean, he's got 9 assists and 2 kills, and pretty much all of those happened after you said that.
We understand it's gonna happen at some point, but you can't give so many. Like 1 or 2 is fine. It's bound to happen. Someone getting caught out here and there. But
and by someone, it wasn't supports Winter. It was the Jug and the Wind Ranger who kept getting caught out as well. That was the biggest problem. It was your core heroes getting caught out.
The buyback from Wind Ranger, and then they forced the Roche, and then they died at the Roche, and then after that they spoke, and then they died again.
Yep. And now prepare for an Aegis gyrocopter pushing down your base, and that's an Aegis butterfly gyrocopter soon. He's about a bit over 1,000 gold short of that butterfly. Oh man.
I don't know what to say, Parker. I'm so sad.
I mean, for Mineski, a couple BKBs could help him out for this defense if they can farm them. Wind Ranger, a little bit short. He needs about 800 or 900 gold more. Juggernaut, no BKB in sight. Slaughter, similarly, both Slaughter and Wind Ranger are so close to their BKBs. Just not quite there. Win
Do
rate
they
is
have
even
the
gonna...
time? They don't have the time to farm it.
I don't know, you gotta sell your phase boots or something possibly. Sell phase
No.
boots and, I don't know. Sell your blink dagger, get a BKB. He's trying to farm neutrals now, but he's still short gold. If they had these two BKBs, they may have time because of the tier 2 tower giving them a bit of a buffer. But it doesn't look like it. And
No, they don't
defending
have
without
time.
them is going to be so much more difficult.
They have to use the gold they have for buyback. Maybe the Wind Ranger can squeeze it out on time. But not the Slaughter.
Sell whatever you can. Again, still short. Throws one last power shot. It's still not there.
Nah, he can farm his BKB. Like with the creep wave here.
He needs to tell his team, give me these freaking creeps.
Okay,
Yes,
he got-
one of them.
He
Still
got one of
short.
them.
Sell the TP. Anything. There we go. He sells it. Plus 37 gold. He's almost there. 75 more. I mean, this BKB is not going to change everything, but it's definitely a much needed component for the high ground defense, I feel.
Yeah, so he can actually move around. He got control every fight by the DK
Yeah.
and the snowball and the
Snowball,
punch and
DK stun. Then he gets caught. Then there's a cold feed as well. Just needs one of these creeps and he's not getting it. His team, I mean, you've got to spam out the lane using everything
Okay.
you can.
He's gonna have it.
Alright.
Oh, 10 more gold.
How about Mr. Slider? He's still got about 500 or 600. Maybe wants to take this mid lane, but also has to be ready to get a good jump off.
He can sell his wand.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
And you'd rather have a BKB than a wand, but you also want to make sure you can finish the BKB should you go for it. Cuckoo just going to draw the
Cuckoo,
creep waves off.
he
There's a
got
cooldown that's going to catch him. He gets 4 stuff out. Nice play there. Nice Winter's Curse as well. Shackle shot on 2. Aggressive. He's getting focused down. He gets Snowball to save his life though. Snowball in under the tip also. Maybe not the best position to be in. Call embraces there and Mineski. They've lost 2. Aggressive getting low. But he's got Nature's. Cuckoo. He's got no Omnis has to play around with Raging Potatoes. BKB keeping alive. Wars punch in the air. Shiki gets the stun. And Mineski have lost 3, 4. They buy back the jug. They're trying to do anything they can to hold on. Shiki gets crushed up. The GK. He's still got a cheese though. And aggressive on the front lines. He's doing what he can. The Aegis cheese proving to be too much for Mineski, and this may be the end for the Filipino team in the winner bracket. They'll drop down with a loss here, and Cuckoo trying to make one last hurrah. Shiki's there with a stun. They'll lose the jug again, and with that, they'll lose their last hope in Game 3. GG is called. CDEC pull a rabbit out of the hat and toss the 3rd comeback in a row in this best of 3. What a ridiculous series.
And this game was so hard to watch. I'm sorry, my friend.
Just not like this, Winter. This was not how this best of 3 was meant to end. Definitely not like
I
this.
thought the 3rd game would have been a normal game after what happened in the 1st and 2nd game.
It felt
but-
like it. It really felt like